This is it. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. We're talking about Cobra Kai's first episode, Ace Degenerate. Hello everyone, I'm your host Betty, and thanks for listening to the podcast today. I am so glad to be doing this show. It's a show that I enjoy watching. If you haven't checked it out, y'all need to go and watch it because it is so good. I grew up watching The Karate Kid. Karate Kid was actually one of the first VHS tapes that we ever owned, me and my family. So it really holds a special place in my heart, because it's my childhood. It's, it's nostalgic. And, that's what brought me into the show. But what kept me watching was the actual story. I loved it. It was so good. It's more than just, a sequel to Karate Kid. You'll fall in love with all of these characters, including the children. And you may hate some of them too. There's a whole bunch on social medias like Facebook and stuff where people talk about these children and theorize and everything. And the fandom is just huge. So, but anyway, let's get into talking about this actual episode. The synopsis reads, 34 years after losing the All-Valley Karate Championship, Johnny Lawrence decides to reopen the Cobra Kai dojo, while his adversary, Daniel LaRusso, runs a successful auto business. So this episode starts out, we're back at the All-Valley Championship tournament, and where Daniel and Johnny are fighting, and we see Johnny lose. And so it goes to the present day, and it's of Johnny in bed, and I'm going to say right now, he don't look too good. He looks like he's kind of down on his luck, and, because he leaves his apartment building, he does his morning routine, they show all of that, and then he goes to work and everything, and he runs into Miguel, and we're introduced to Miguel, the little kid that he actually takes under his wing later on in the series. But like I said, he's going to work, and he gets in his car, and as he's leaving the parking lot, he sees a billboard of LaRusso's auto group, and that's we see where Daniel has gone in life. And so it's like Johnny, he's down on his luck, he looks like he's not doing too well, and we see that Daniel is has become successful in his life. So that's the first little inkling of what this show is probably going to be about. So it goes through kind of a montage of he's working at his job, and he's a repair for houses and stuff. He's a repairman, and it goes to one scene where he is mounting a TV for this lady, and she comes in, and she is so mean. But anyway, she says that he's putting it on the wrong wall, and she said to put the TV by the door or across from the door, and this room that she's talking about has two doors, so it's like he didn't know which wall she was talking about, but she's mad because he has to take it down and put it on the right wall, and he's not going to be able to do that today and everything like that. And so she gets mad at him, and he tells her, he's doing the best he can to just stop, griping at him. He says the B word, but anyway. And so the next scene we see, he's on the phone with his boss, and his boss is wondering why Johnny would call this woman, the B word. And he said he didn't call her that, he said that, she was griping at him. And so, but his boss, fires him. And he's like, well, you're firing me because of her and everything. And so anyway, Johnny is without a job. And so, also, I need to also bring up that his boss's name is Mike. And there's theories out there that his boss could be Mike Barnes. But, I don't know. Anyway, then he gets in his car and he turns it on, and the first thing he hears is a commercial for LaRusso's Auto, and of course, it is Daniel talking for the ad. So, that's just the icing on his cake. He's just been fired, and he's having a really, really bad day. So it goes to the next scene, and he's at a convenience store, and he's trying to get, a slice of pizza. And this convenience store guy, I mean, I think that if the health inspectors were around, this place would be shut down. But anyway, Miguel comes in, and, he needs to get some Pepto-Bismol for his grandma, and because she's not feeling well. And anyway, Johnny gets his pizza and everything, and he goes outside and he's eating it. And there's this homeless lady, and she's in a couple of episodes, and she's she's telling him, to hurry up and finish eating and then move on, because this is her spot, and he's like, I'm not homeless and everything like that. But anyway, these high school kids pull up, and they go into the convenience store. They want to buy some beer and stuff, and they go in there, and the next thing you know, they're pushing Miguel out of the convenience store, because I guess Miguel told the store clerk, or blew their cover, that there weren't college kids, that they were actually, underage kids. And so they start picking on Miguel, and they throw him on top of Johnny's car. And so Johnny gets involved, and he starts, he does his karate thing, because he obviously he probably hasn't done it in forever. And so, but he's actually doing really good. He got all these teenage boys down on the ground and everything, but they just keep coming at him, and they keep coming at him, and eventually the police show up, and they pepper spray him and arrest him. So to kind of summarize, Johnny is having a really bad day. I mean, number one, he got fired from his job. Number two, he keeps seeing Daniel LaRusso's success all over the place. And then now he has been arrested for assaulting these teenagers that probably deserved it, but he's the one that got in trouble because he's the adult. But he gets out of jail, and he comes home, and Miguel is waiting to thank him for what he did for him. And, Johnny's like, well, you said it, and he's just trying to move on from it. But Miguel asks him if he could teach him how to do karate. Or actually, Miguel asks him, what was that? Was it jiu-jitsu or taekwondo or all this? And Johnny says it was good old-fashioned karate. And Miguel, the moral of the story is that Miguel wants him to teach him how to do it. And Johnny's like, no, it's not my problem. I have other things to do. And Miguel, he's arguing about it because, once school starts, those guys are going to be picking on him, and he needs to just know a little bit of what Johnny knows. And, Johnny's like, I've got things to do. I've got to find a job. I've got to, live a life. And Miguel is like, well, you can open your own karate dojo. And he's like, no, because I don't do karate anymore. So he basically, just tells him, stop being so annoying, and maybe you won't get your butt kicked. But anyway, he leaves Miguel out there, and he goes into his apartment. And when he goes in, there's a lady sitting on his couch watching his TV, and because his stepfather is there, and she is apparently his nurse. But his stepfather's mean. But anyway, this man is played by Ed Eisner, and I love Ed Eisner. He's a good actor, and he did so well in this role. But anyway, he's there because he bailed Johnny out of jail. And he starts explaining to Johnny that, he made a promise to his mother that he would take care of Johnny for all his life, for the rest of his life. but even he's getting tired of having to bail Johnny out and do all this kinds of stuff. But Johnny, he points out that yeah, Sid, you were the father of the year, or stepfather of the year, and then Sid throws up into Johnny's face, how long's it been since you've heard from Robbie? And see, Robbie is Johnny's son. And Johnny tells him to get out, that he doesn't want him there. And so Sid is like, well, this is why I'm here. And he